Hi, everybody. Let's get started. My name is Steve Smith. I'm Director of Clinical Training and a faculty member here in the Department of Counseling, Clinical, and School Psychology. Welcoming you to the first ever Zoom graduation that we've ever had. And maybe it'll be the last, who knows. Just a few technical things before we get started. Again, sort of keep yourselves muted. The chat window is open, and I really urge all of you to make use of the chat window and send your well wishes and congratulations to people as we go through. We are recording this, so it will be made available to you later on. Also in the chat window, sort of at the top, I've put a link to the website where we have the program book. So hopefully you have a copy of the program, which you should all take a look at. It's absolutely beautiful and has some information and notes about all of the graduates, as well as their pictures, so you get a sense of who it is that we're celebrating here today. Before anything else, I just really want to acknowledge Maria, who is probably up in the upper left-hand corner of all of your screens, who is the host of this meeting. Maria has done a phenomenal job of getting all of this set up for us and created a beautiful program book, and generally has been the lifeblood of our program and has kind of kept me on track and made everything run. So a round of virtual applause for Maria for being a total rock star. And just to outline things for all of you, I'm going to introduce the Dean of the G Gse here in just a minute, Dean Milam. Following the Dean, we're going to have some comments by Tanya Israel, our department chair. And then the faculty are going to briefly introduce each one of our graduates by name only, with not all sorts of editorializing. Thank you, faculty. And then each one of the graduates is going to have opportunity to address all of us and give a handful of minutes of a speech and their well wishes or whatever it is they would like to say to us. And then what I'd really like to do after all of that happens is I'll make a little Zoom breakout room for all the graduates. And then if we could kind of convene in that breakout room, we'll have a Zoom screenshot photograph that you can all photograph and hang over your mantles or whatever. Okay, so we kind of have a general plan. Before I turn it over to Dean Milam, I just want to share a few thoughts, because this is such an unusual experience that we're all having. And some of this comes from a conversation I had with my clinical practicum group maybe a couple weeks ago, where we talked about what does it mean to be essential. I mean, that as soon as we entered this pandemic, the government came out and they said, well, psychologists, they're essential healthcare workers, which is partly why I'm addressing you here in my regalia from my private practice, where I continue to see people. And I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be essential. And we're living in a world that is completely unprecedented, this pandemic, and we're seeing the effects of systemic oppression of marginalized populations, and particularly African Americans in our country. We're seeing some of the aftermath of all of that. And it really makes me proud to be essential, that we're essential in terms of the work that we do as clinicians. In the past quarter, all of the faculty have had to quickly pivot to Zoom teaching because education is essential. And we are essential as psychologists. We are essential as practitioners, as educators, as activists, and as humans. And as we go through this process today, I guess I want all of us to recognize our graduates for being essential and to entering into an occupation that is essential to the functioning of mental health, of wellness, of well-being, and that we are the people who are there and who are essential wherever people are suffering. And there's a whole lot of suffering right now. And this being a part of this field is a gift. And it is a gift to be a helper. And it is a gift to help people who are suffering. and it is a gift to be essential. And I couldn't be more proud of all of you than I am right now. And I welcome you to a very essential field. And with that, I will turn it over to our Dean, Jeff Milam, who is the Dean of G Gse.
Thanks, Steve. Good afternoon, everybody. To the parents, spouses, partners, family members, and friends of the class of 2020, I welcome you this afternoon. On behalf of my colleagues in the Gevirtz School of Education, I want to let you know that, like you, we're very proud of what your graduate has accomplished. We thank you for the love and support that you've provided to your student during their time at the Gevirtz School. To the 2020 graduates of the G Gse, on behalf of my colleagues, I offer our congratulations to you for your achievement and our wishes for you all to have a future that's filled with many blessings and great success. I know that the past 3 months have been extremely difficult for you all. One of the most powerful things that I've taken away from these challenging times is how acutely I've been reminded of the many great disparities and maladies that persist in our society and how they disproportionately harm the lives of low-income people and people of color. As educators and applied psychologists, we must approach our work in a manner that's equitable, inclusive, and just. As you look forward to your future and consider how you'll do this work, I want to leave you with just a few things to consider that I hope will help you as you move forward. First, none of us achieves what we achieve alone. We must honor the work and sacrifices of those who came before us and recognize how their efforts have lifted us up and moved us forward. All of us are here today because of the love, support, and sacrifices of others. There's a saying popular in the civil rights community that best illustrates this idea to me. It says, if we are able to see clear, it's because we stand on the shoulders of the giants who came before us. I believe that the best way to honor those who've supported you and lifted you up is to do the same for others, or to pay it forward. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. asserted that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Dr. King also said, all labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence. Horace Mann, an American education reformer and abolitionist who served as the founding president of Antioch College, implored his graduates in his final commencement speech to them in 1859 to, quote, be ashamed to die until you've won some victory for humanity. I encourage you to embrace your future and live your dreams. While none of us ever knows what our future holds, I hope that you're confident in knowing that your family, your friends, your teachers, and your professors have done their best to provide you all with what you need to embrace your future and to confidently chase your dreams, especially in times as challenging as those in which we now live. In closing, as you are able to see clear because you stand on the shoulders of the giants who came before you, you must also now allow others to stand on your shoulders. Beginning today, I hope that you will pay it forward by returning all of the blessings, support, and encouragement that you've received and that have helped you to be here today to celebrate your wonderful accomplishment. If you do so, you'll surely win many victories for humanity at a time when our nation and our world so deeply need them. Thank you.
Good afternoon. First, a word to the family members and friends who are here. These graduates could not have made it to the program or through this program without you. We know how important it is to them for you to witness this moment. You've done a lot for them, and you mean a lot to them. And to the partners of the graduates, we should have a special degree for y'all because you've earned it. To all of the guests, thank you for everything you've done to support these amazing people. And to the graduates, look at you. You made it. The home stretch of the doctoral program is never easy. Bringing your time on campus to a close, moving for internship, getting oriented to new people and systems just in time to apply for postdocs and jobs while you're finishing your dissertation or submitting it for publication. But this year, just as you were rounding that final curve, a global pandemic hits. And you have to embrace unfamiliar ways of working and living, supporting clients and students and families and communities as they wrestle with myriad challenges. How did you find room in your hearts to hold space for the suffering of the world while managing your own hardships? And then, the fury and heartbreak of racial injustice in our country could no longer be contained, and the dam burst. And you, who care so much about the most vulnerable among us, had to find your role within the struggle and unrest and opportunity that this moment offers. How have you done all of this? You are strength and brilliance and kindness. You have everything you need to go forth and continue your good work, using psychological research and practice to make this world a better place, a healing place, a just place. We are so proud of everything you have done. We are so grateful to have been part of your journey. And we are so looking forward to everything you will do from here. Congratulations, CCSP Class of 2020. You are amazing. That is all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Israel. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce Dr. Augustina Bertone.
Thank you, Erin. To everyone here today, to the faculty, our CCSP staff, my fellow colleagues, my friends and family, and everyone else's friends and family joining from near and far, I want to say thank you so much for being here for this moment. This is definitely different than we all anticipated, but I really appreciate how the program has come together to make this special for us in light of everything that's happening. I decided when I was, I think, a freshman in high school that I wanted to do a PhD in psychology. So it's very wild for me to think today and to be reflecting recently on the fact that 13 years later, here we are. And I am crossing the stage, symbolically speaking. And I couldn't have made it to this place without all of the support that I got along the way. I want to thank you, Erin, for being the best mentor I could have ever asked for. You fill our lab with so much joy and so much positive energy. You believed in me every step of the way. You encouraged me in ways when I really needed the encouragement, and you also told it to me straight when I needed it too. And I couldn't have done this without you. I also want to thank my lab family. We have our grad school mom, but I also have my lab family members, and without Kate and Katie, Stephanie, Ria, Isabel, Tamisha, I couldn't have done this either. And I appreciate all of our time that we've spent together, all the NASPs, and all of the talks about The Bachelor, and all the times that we've been able to spend together. I want to thank my mom and dad who are here. Muchas gracias por todo lo que han hecho, por sus sacrificios, por quererme incondicionalmente, por apoyarme en todo. y por estar presentes hoy y todos los días anteriormente. I also want to thank my partner, who's right here, who, like Tanya said, deserves an honorary degree. He learned more about psychology than I think he ever anticipated. And he studied for quals and probably knows all 10 NASP standards. Like, he knows everything about me. So thank you for everything you've done. I couldn't have done it without you either. And to my siblings and my friends, especially Haley for being my grad school confidant. I think the program knows that we were attached and still are at the hip for all of the trials and tribulations we face together. And to my cohort for being the support system that I really could have never imagined. I think, like Dean Milam said, we're living in a moment that is quite crucial in history. And I entered the field of psychology because I was so passionate about equity and about being able to make sure that our mental health resources, but also education, is equitable and accessible to our disenfranchised and underserved populations. And I feel so honored and humbled to be able to receive this degree and to be a part of this moment in time. And I hope that my colleagues, my friends, and my family hold me accountable for the rest of my career. That fight for. And to my students graduating, I just want to say congratulations. It's very weird, but I'm so proud of us and so grateful for all of this. So thank you.
Congratulations, Augustina, and to all of the graduates. I'm extremely proud to introduce Dr. Shruthi Swami.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Matt, for introducing me. I just want to say again, just like Augustina said, thank you everyone for being here today. Well, obviously, I think we're all a little bit sad to not be walking at commencement. I do also feel a lot of gratitude for this opportunity to be doing this over Zoom and to be seeing faces and have people who are really important to us participate in this way, even if it's not, you know, walking. But so thank you all for being here. So this program gave me a lot of wonderful things, but I think I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity just to make it about thanks to everybody in my community who's brought me to this point. And so yeah, I'll start with that. So firstly, I just want to say thank you to Matt for accepting me into this program. I reread my statement recently and I was like, how on earth did you accept me based off of what I wrote? But then I was like, okay, it's fine, whatever. So first to Matt, and then also to Jill, who I know is on this call as well. You and Matt both gave me a lot of research opportunities, pushed me in a lot of ways to think about the work that we're doing. And I really appreciate that just because it's important considering what's going on in this world today. So obviously pushing me as a student researcher, but also as a person. So I'm really, really grateful for all of that. Yeah, I definitely would not be thinking about things the way that I do if it hadn't been for the work that you all have had me do in the way that you've pushed me. Huge, huge thank you to my cohort in particular. You know, we came in with a very, very large cohort and have had a lot of things happen that, you know, we did not anticipate and that we've gotten through. And I'll never forget the first week that we were all here, that we went to the Funk Zone, to Reds, which is no longer there. And we, you know, we were all sipping some wine and suddenly the power went out and then we were serenaded by this cute band, which actually, coincidentally, we ended up seeing completely by chance at a conference in New Orleans a few years later, which was really great. But I think we've all been through a lot and we've been there for each other through the ups and downs. And so special thanks to you all for being there, and especially when I've been, you know, I think we've all had rough patches, and so thank you all for that. Thank you so much to all the other students in our grad program. You know, we've all been there for each other in different ways and learned so many things from each other, so I really appreciate you all. Thank you to all the friends from various stages of my life. I'm so touched to see how many of you are on Zoom right now, people I've known since I was born, high school, college, people even afterwards. I'm really, really happy to share this moment with you all and want to give you that gratitude, just so you know how much that you've all been there to push me forward in the work that I've done and to become the person that I have been, that I am, and hopefully will become in the future as well. Special thanks to my boyfriend, Evan, who's sitting right here. Didn't want to be in the frame, but we met right when I was dissertating, so in like kind of the crazy stages of putting everything together. Then I moved, and so just it's a wild ride, as many of us know, that this grad school journey is not exactly linear, is not easy at all. So thank you. And finally, just a huge thanks to my family. So Amma, Appa, Pati, my sister, my aunts and uncles and cousins who are also on the call. Thank you all for believing in me, pushing me to be the best that I can be, and keeping me humble through all my dramatics and stress and everything. And so I couldn't have done it without all of you. It really takes a community to push us through this. So thank you all. And yeah, that's it.
Woo! It gives me great pleasure to introduce one of the three graduates that are accompanying me here, and we'll go in the order in the pictures. We're going to start with Ana Romero Morales. Please.
All right, I wrote mine down just in case I forgot. So cool, I can finally call myself a doctora. I want to thank a lot of people who've helped me get through this system that isn't always accessible to people from the community that I come from. So first, thank you so much for accepting me into this program and supporting me through this process and dealing with my resistance and mood sometimes with doing things. I want to thank Maya also, because she was one of the best supervisors I had. And because of you, I really found my passion in working with little kids. So I'm all about PCIT now. A special shout out to all my roommates that I've had these past years, including the most current ones in the background. Especially to Shruthi, she's the OG. We've made it through 5 years and didn't kill each other in the process. Sabrina, Katie, Amy, and so many other people, thank you for being there for important events in my life, like helping me put a wedding together super quickly. To all my chingonas, Maria, Eliana, Adriana, Gina, and Gigi, you all have a special place in my heart. Mirna, who's been with me since college. It's been a long journey. Jeremy, out of all things, you were the most unexpected surprise. Research really brought us together, and I'm happy that we're finally going to live in the same state, in the same house. So thank you for your support in all of this. And of course, the most important people in my life, my sisters, Cindy and Kristen, who just graduated high school, and my mom and dad. You both are truly the most resilient and intelligent people I know. And here I am with all this privilege and education, and I don't know if I could have made it with all the sacrifices you've made for me. So this diploma, whenever I get it, is a piece of paper that it's all because of you. So thank you.
Felicitaciones, Ana, and it gives me great pleasure to presentar a la próxima doctora, Gina. Por favor, Vanega Martínez, Gina Vanega Martínez, adelante.
Gina! You guys are awesome. I have so much to say, and I'm so afraid of not being able to articulate it all without crying or making a fool of myself. So I actually kind of wrote it down mainly because I was afraid I was going to be overtaken with emotion. But needless to say, I just wanted to I've been thinking a lot about how this dream started 18 years ago. I came to this country in pursuit of education. Nobody forced me to come. This was my dream. I wanted to come because I wanted to become a psychologist, and I really wanted to study at a university in the US. today marks the culmination of not only that dream, but the dream of my mother and my father. My mom, who earned a scholarship to take English lessons, but wasn't able to attend because my grandparents couldn't afford the bus ride for her to go to school. For my father, whose dream was to study medicine and become a doctor, but couldn't because my grandmother was a single mother of 3 and didn't have the financial means to support him. And I've had the privilege of not only had the support of my parents, but also of my partner and my sister. Without your support, I would not have gotten here. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of tears. It took a lot of coursing at times, and that's okay too. This degree is for all of those who came before me but couldn't make it this far. Gracias, familia, por ayudarme a llegar más lejos de lo que a veces podían ustedes ver. Los amo mucho. I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, muy bien hecho, Gina. And last but not least, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce Dr. Josh Schultzer, the third person graduating, and all 3 got married. So I don't know if the doctoral degree counts with a marriage, but please, Josh.
Yeah. Thanks, Andres. Hi, everybody. I also wrote kind of a graduation-y speech thing. So I don't know if my parents remember, but it kind of stands out to me as a really important part of my path to get here. We had a conversation toward the end of my undergraduate years where I was really grappling with what to do next. What are my next steps? Do I get a job? Do I take some time off? Do I go to grad school? What do I want to do with my life? At the time, I didn't really know much about master's degrees versus PhDs or PsyDs, but I knew that I wanted to keep doing something in psychology and something in music. That's a saxophone. And so I ended up getting a job at a family youth agency as a case manager, and that's where I got my first taste of clinical work. And from there, I decided that I wanted more education, that there was something more to this whole psychology thing that I wanted to kind of understand and dig into and keep at it. So a year later, I ended up at UCSB, and again, big thanks to Andres for allowing me that opportunity. And so 6 years later, I'm transitioning out, and we're all transitioning out. And so as I'm reflected back on those years, I'm really reminded of the importance that I placed on my dissertation on retrospective accounts for the participants that I interviewed. And that to be able to look back on something from the finish line or beyond gives us a sense of understanding that you can't really access when you're in the thick of things. And so from that perspective, what I can see now is that my time in the program has helped me, grow so much. And since I've had that conversation with my parents all those years ago, so I can better digest the understand of the experience that I've had in the academic, the clinical, the teaching worlds, and how the program has really challenged myself to reflect on myself, to reflect on the profession and the work that we do, and how that continues to evolve over time. And so as we're all coming to the end of this academic year and this truly bizarre time, it stands out to me more than ever how important it is that the work that we do, especially when we're helping those who are with the most need. So with that retrospective perspective, I want to take a moment to thank all the people who helped me get to this point and helped me to think about what my role looks like as a budding psychologist. So I want to start by, of course, thanking my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, our dog Parker, who I don't think is on Zoom right now, for all of their support throughout the process and for really grounding me throughout all the ups and downs and being here today to celebrate. I want to thank my wife, Ale, for her endless support and in so many ways how she's continuing to bring so much joy to my life, and who happened to meet me through the program at a conference in Peru. So yeah, like Andres said, we all ended up somehow married. I want to thank the faculty who taught me so many things over the years and all of the classes and the seminars and the conferences and the meetings, and all of my colleagues and teammates and and cohort who accompanied me through all the ups and downs and the struggles and made it a lot more bearable along the way. And last but not least, I want to thank my advisor and mentor, Andres Consoli, for the really immeasurable amount of support and time and effort that he's put into my growth as an academic, as a clinician, as a musician, and just as a person in general. So you truly showed me what an amazing mentor looks like, and I hope to find ways to keep paying it forward down the line to others. So thanks to everybody, and congratulations for all of us to making it to this point. Yay!
Woo! Well, congratulations, graduates. It's just such a pleasure and meaningful to be here with everybody today. I'm proud to introduce Dr. Sabrina Liu.
Woo! Thank you so much, Miriam. I just want to say thank you to, first off, to Steve and to the entire department for arranging this graduation in the midst of global and national crises. I want to say a big thank you to Miriam and Shruthi. Talking about getting accepted into this program made me reflect on when I was applying to this program. And I think we've really come full circle because you accepted me sight unseen. We interviewed over Skype, I believe, and I was in my bedroom where I was working in India. So we're finishing it the way we started. But I just want to thank you so much for taking that chance on me, and for the amazing mentorship, support, kindness, and opportunities that you gave me, and that got me to this point. So thank you. I want to say thank you to my entire family, and of course my husband Jacob, who wore his party shirt for today, for just sticking with me on this long journey and helping me get here today too. To all of my CCSP friends and my lab mates, I will always treasure the many, many amazing memories and good times that we've had, and I also wouldn't be here without those times, and the way that we have been able to lean on each other and support each other and bring each other up. And I think I'll just end with saying that I feel a lot of gratitude, so much gratitude, and so much determination as well. And I don't need to reiterate what everyone else has spoken on about, the call to action and the role that we can all play in that action. But I'm grateful to have been able to take action on the things that I care about throughout grad school. And I think with this degree, that just gives us even more power to be able to work and make change in the ways that are important. And I've, of course, been thinking about that a lot lately. So I plan to continue to do that work, and just thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you, Sabrina. So it's a pleasure to be with all of you here today, particularly under all the circumstances we're under. It's just wonderful to see all your faces. So thank you for being here and for sharing that we can share this all together. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Danny Mesa.
Woo, Danny!
Thank you all. Thank you. I want to start by thanking my committee. First, Dr. Melissa Morgan Consoli. She had the faith in my abilities and my research ideas around ethnic studies, going back to our initial Skype interview back in 2013 to get into the program. Without her support and faith, I wouldn't be here on this call today. Dr. Miriam Kia-Keating helped me push my ideas into more expansive research territory, and her initial support of my project without hesitation really boosted my self-belief. And Inez Casillas from Chicanx Studies has been a cheerleader of mine since my first year in graduate school as a teaching assistant for her from another department, she pushed me to stamp my intellect and future goals on the world. She even literally nudged me to talk to psychologist Dr. Yvette Flores because she saw my future self in Yvette's work. So thank you all so much. I want to thank as well my clinical supervisors, Drs. Zasha Wilka-Stone, Paul Guido, and Heidi Zetzer, for believing in me and demonstrating to me the unassailable power of psychotherapy. Thank you so much. I also want to acknowledge the power of public education. I've only ever attended as a student and worked as a teacher at public institutions. Wheeler Elementary, Vail Middle, Saguaro High, University High, Arizona State, University of Arizona, City College of New York, Richmond Hill High School, Hudson High, Universities of California, Santa Barbara, and Berkeley. Thank you to my friends from this program, Ari Goldstein, Maria Vasquez, Ana Ramiro, Adriana Sanchez, Gigi Sims, Gina Venegas, and Isabel Fleury, and honorary member Dan Dunitz. I will elaborate more in person this weekend or when I see you next, but the contributions you have made to me becoming a better person, a more open and trusting person, and a better friend will also forever remain with me. And saving the best for last, my family. My brothers Tony and Andrew, their lovely wives, Kristen and Elizabeth, their amazing children, Lucas, Elliot, Emmy, and Maxwell, mean everything to me. Spending the rest of my life with them as much as possible is more important to me now than anything I've ever accomplished here. I want to also thank my extended family and friends, many of who I see on this Skype today, the Polans, the Maros, Jean Muha. I'm sorry if I'm leaving any of you out, but I love you all and thank you so much. Janet K. Mesa was born on February 15th, 1957 in Glen Allen, Alaska. Since I was born, my mother has worked as a Safeway cashier, a Budweiser retail saleswoman, a 7-Eleven and Circle K store manager, a Circle K regional manager, and now a Circle K HR manager. If you spent even a day in Arizona, you know how much Circle K is a part of the culture and the local fabric there. My mother also loves University of Arizona basketball and is the most selfless person I know. Hernando Barney Mesa was born on April 10th, 1955 in Kansas City, Missouri. In my lifetime, he worked as a truck driver for Metro Oil, Blue Flame Propane, and Home Depot. He then became a certified HVAC practitioner and worked outside in the Arizona heat for many years. He then worked as a facilities worker in local nursing homes and a facilities manager, and now a regional manager. My dad, like me after him, possesses countless hobbies such as cycling, guitar, motocross, and remote control aircraft, just to name a few. My parents did not get a chance to earn the degrees we are all earning today, but they possess something all of us as PhDs do not, an indomitable work ethic that was entirely in service of their children and now grandchildren. There's not one single day in my life that I remember my parents not getting up before me and going to work. My parents never took sick days or mental health days and grinded away for decades just so that I can be here today. Their work ethic, love, and sacrifice is often all they had to give my brothers and I. And holy shit, has it transformed us into the people we are today. I can't ever say that I could do what my parents did because it would be the biggest lie I ever told. Had my parents been afforded the opportunities to attend college, they certainly could have accomplished the things I have. Opportunities to develop are all any single person needs in this world to accomplish anything. And my parents are the biggest reasons I have been able to take pride in any self-aggrandizing degree or title. I love you both so much, and I relish the day that I can give back anything to you to show you my appreciation. Congratulations to everyone, and thank you all.
Okay, next up, it is my pleasure and my honor to introduce Dr. Sommer Shai.
In true form, that's my daughter. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, Mommy's talking. You want to come and sit with me? It has taken me 13 years to get to this point. I started graduate school in this program in 2007, and due to personal circumstances, withdrew from the program a few years in. In the interim, I worked as a college professor for 3 years, then in market research for 2, before I realized that I was not fulfilled in my work and I wanted to return to graduate school to complete my PhD. And here I am today, circumstances unforeseen, graduating with my PhD. I'd like to thank my advisor, Dr. Steve Smith, for believing in me, for accepting me, and for guiding me. Thank you to all of the CCSP faculty for their support and for taking a second chance on me. You are a little girl now. You want to sit on Mama's lap?
Here, come sit next to Mama.
No. Okay. Especially to Dr. Tanya Israel, Dr. Aaron Dowdy, and Dr. Ty Vernon. To my mother, Lori, for her sacrifice and sheer will in providing for my sisters and I. My sisters and me. It took her 12 years to earn her bachelor's degree, but she did it. She has overcome so much adversity, and I inherited my resilience from her. Most of all, thank you, Mom, for being my biggest cheerleader and for always accepting and loving me. To my sisters for their love and support and looking up to me. To my stepdad, Dave, for your encouragement and support and for standing by my mother and us. To my dearest friends and graduates of UCSB, Christina, Whitney, Katie, Larissa, and Jens for paving the way, giving me hope, and helping me to believe in myself. To my dear friends, Andrea and Dave, for always believing in me. To my husband, Whitfield, who has stood by me throughout this entire journey and who walks with me and picks me up when I am down. And most of all, thank you to my precious daughter, Brinley. I became pregnant a few months after I restarted graduate school, and there were times I didn't think that I could continue. But she gave me the strength to keep going. I love you so much. Thank you to my dear family and friends for sharing in this accomplishment with me, for loving me, and for accepting me as I am, faults and all. Those of us in this field are not immune to psychopathology. In fact, being in this field forces us to confront our defenses directly. I have overcome many trials and tribulations, challenges, and setbacks in getting here. A few this year alone, as we all have. But I'm finally here. Thank you all.
All right. So it's remarkable to be able to celebrate all of the CCSB graduates today. It's bittersweet because you spend so much time as a research lab working together, brainstorming new ideas, implementing projects, analyzing data, helping families, changing lives, that when it's time to say goodbye to your graduate students, it's really hard to let go. So this year, it's my pleasure to introduce 3 new doctors who will undoubtedly change the world. First, I'd like to introduce Dr. Amy Barrett.
Woo! Yay!
Hi, all. Thank you. Yeah, I think similar to everybody else, I was really looking at how long this journey has been, and it really made me realize that I was 19 when I decided that I wanted to pursue this goal, and I'm 31 now, so you can do the math. But I remember being in my second year of my undergraduate degree, meeting with my academic guidance counselor and telling her, I think I want to be a child psychologist, and what do I need to do if that's my end goal? And she looked at me and said, well, you would need a PhD for that. And she looks down at my paperwork and she underlines my GPA and she looks back at me and says, you know, I don't think that's in the cards for you. Thanks. I think we should think about a different goal, maybe a more achievable goal for you. And I'm really glad I didn't listen to her. And I'm really glad I didn't let this woman who had known me for 5 minutes use a number to decide what I could do and what I could achieve with a lot of hard work. And this program has been a lot of really hard work. But it's been a lot of work, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without everybody who was a part of it. So I thank my family, my Barrett family and my Bernardoni family. I thank my partner Michael for being with me in the most difficult parts. I thank my advisor, Ty, who I came to you with big ideas and big goals, and you never once squashed them, and you never told me I couldn't do them. So thank you for your dedication to my training, because that was huge. And I thank all of the CCSP faculty who are so supportive. And I think most importantly, I thank my peers. I think the people I've met in this program have been some of the most amazing, intelligent, diverse, wise people I've ever met. And I felt very privileged to sit alongside you and learn, and not only learn as a psychologist, I'm gonna pull together, as a psychologist and a clinician and academic, but to learn how to be a better human being. And I feel like I really got that from everyone. And so thank you and congratulations to all of you for getting to this point.
All right, next up, I would like to introduce Dr. Shireen Cohen.
Woo! Thank you. I deeply admire all of you who are able to speak so eloquently off the cuff. I am not one of those people, so please forgive me for reading what I wrote. First and foremost, I want to thank my parents who have always been there for me 100%. Your unconditional love and support has been a constant in my life and has shaped me into the person I am today. In addition to my parents, I want to thank my step-parents, Mary and Peter, as well as my grandparents, Bubby and Zeta, Grandma and Grandpa. You've all supported me in so many ways, and I cannot begin to thank you enough. To all of my family, my brother, aunts, uncles, cousins, I love you and thank you for your love and support. Of course, I want to thank my fiance, John, who has been a huge part of helping me get to where I am today. You stuck with me through 12-hour days, calls, interviews, dissertation, a lot of sweat and tears. Without you, I would have way too many commas in my dissertation. I'm so grateful I've had you by my side these last 5 years, and I can't wait to marry you this summer. Additionally, I want to thank all my chosen family. Many of you are here today. I'm really excited to see your faces, who have also helped me get to where I am today with their unconditional love and support. To my incredible community, you mourned with me during hardships and celebrated with me during triumphs. You cheered me on and counseled me through stressful times. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I also want to thank all the faculty who have helped me get to this milestone, from Karen Dobkins, who gave me my first research position and introduced me to the field of autism, Frank Floyd, who took a chance on me and supported me through my master's at UH Manoa, Bob Cagle, who gave me the opportunity to attend UCSB, Ty Vernon, who welcomed me into his lab after Bob left and helped me through my calls, internship interviews, and dissertation, Maya Barnett and Kali Connolly, who served on my committees and pushed me to grow even more, and all my other professors and supervisors who have given me incredible opportunities over the past 10 years and taught me so much. Thank you. Finally, to the class of 2020, my awesome cohort, thank you for being on this wild journey with me. I'm sad we can't be together in person today, but I'm so proud of all of us. We did it.
Woohoo! Woo! Congratulations! Congratulations!
Finally, I would like to introduce Dr. Elizabeth Greenfield.
Thank you. You may notice the new last name, formerly McGarry, but very recently officially a Greenfield. I would like to thank all of my family and friends who've helped me reach this day. First of all, I want to thank my husband, Jeff, who's off sitting to the right of me off camera. I'm so grateful that you were willing to move completely across the country with me when I was accepted to UCSB. You've helped me just to stay grounded and calm throughout this really crazy journey and a crazy few years. I also wanted to thank my parents and my sisters for their unwavering support. You were always there to pick up the phone, whether it was to chat about my research or listen to me vent about the stress of grad school life. Your words of encouragement have really kept me going. And I'd also like to thank my advisor, Ty Vernon, who helped me become the clinician and the researcher that I am today. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be in this program and get all the amazing training and experiences that I have. And then finally, I'd like to thank my cohort and all of the graduates. I'm so proud of what we have all accomplished, and I'm just in awe of the amazing work that you all have done and continue to do every single day. And I look forward to seeing the impact that each of you will have on the field and on our world as we take this next step in our careers. Thank you so much.
Okay, congratulations everybody. Zoom notwithstanding, this continues to be a wonderful tradition, and I just love being able to hear so much love from so many people from all over the country. We have, at one point we had close to 200 people on this Zoom. So the amount of love and support for all of our graduates is, it's just come through no matter where we are and no matter where we find ourselves. It is my honor to welcome you all into a beautiful, wonderful, and essential profession, and I am so proud of all of you. What I would like to do at this point is that I think that the Zoom breakout situation is going to be a little problematic. So what I'm going to invite all of you to do is please leave unless you are a faculty person or a graduate, and we'll do some faculty and student Zoom photos, and then the faculty will disperse and we'll do student Zoom photos after that. Everybody else, we are recording this, like I said. The same website that you found the program book and the Zoom link, we'll also put up a link to this recording that will happen later on today or some other point in the future, so that you can go back and have a copy of this should you want it. Thank you all, congratulations, and I hope to see you in real life at some point. Bye-bye.
Yay, Josh.
Congratulations, Shireen.
Congrats, Zena. We love you.
Congrats.
Congratulations, Shireen.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Shireen.
Dr.
Peter.
Congratulations, Shireen. We love you.
Congratulations. Love you.
Congrats, Shireen. We love you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Congratulations, Shireen.
Congratulations from Grandma, Grandpa, Montreal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations, Nina.
No. What's up with you?